Well, now that I've had enough time to play with it, and I've gotten my lighting fixed, let's review the Sony Xperia Play from Verizon. The Sony Ericsson Xperia Play. It's an Android smartphone with a dedicated gaming pad for gaming. How well does it perform as a phone, and how well does it perform as a video game machine? Well, let's go ahead and take a look. Let's get it unlocked here. Trying to do it through the viewfinder of my camera. There we go. So, it's Android. You know, you're probably familiar with Android already. 4.0-inch touchscreen. It's the first Verizon phone with Android 2.3 Gingerbread on it, and it's stock too, which is nice. No custom skins or anything like that. 5 home screens. Works pretty great as a phone. Now, I had the Droid 2 before this, and I do notice that as a phone, reception, about a bar less than I ever got on the Droid 2. Reception's so-so, and the audio quality, sound was definitely a lot louder on the Droid 2. Not only the earpiece during phone calls, but also the speakers for, like, when you're on speakerphone or you're playing a game. It's got stereo speakers, actually. There's one there and one there, if you can see them. So, not quite as loud as what I'm used to on Android. Also, the screen really isn't that bright, honestly. On the low, I've never had it on the lowest brightness setting, and honestly, the camera's making it look a lot brighter than it actually is. I usually have it on the middle one, but sometimes I do have to crank it to the highest one, and sometimes even that's not that's not optimal for what I need. Camera, it's a 5 megapixel camera. Also, I believe it takes 720p video. I do miss the dedicated shutter button, though. Although I think I did see some online. Someone programmed the R button to work as a shutter button, which kind of actually would have been cool if that worked by default. Oh well. I've got a lot of stuff installed on here to show off, hopefully. It's got 6 preloaded games on it. Asphalt 6, Bruce Lee, Crash Bandicoot, keep going, Madden NFL 2011, where's the other one? Star Battalion, and Tetris, which, Tetris, it's kind of a weird included game, because it actually doesn't even use the gaming pad, it just uses the touchscreen. Even when you open up the gaming pad with Tetris, it doesn't even automatically rotate. So I find that to be a very interesting add-on. The problem is, as of right now, the software developers haven't really taken advantage of what the Xperia Play is capable of in terms of the fact that I think it's a lot easier to play video games with the dedicated control pad, the face buttons, the analog touch controls there, and you got shoulder buttons on the top there too. And you can even use the control pad to select stuff in Android, which is kind of nice. X button functions like a select button, and the circle button's like a back button. So that's kind of nice. Let's go ahead and showcase some of the games here. Bruce Lee, it's okay. It's a fighting game. I'm probably not the one to be showing off fighting games just because I'm not really a fan. I just find them to be like repetitive button mashers. Oops, I hit the directional pad. Let's try Asphalt 6. Okay, here we go. Fix the lighting too. Let me turn it up a little bit. Something I want to mention before I forget, because I was just adjusting the media volume. A minor gripe that I have is the volume rocker right here. You know, when you have it open, actually I should say when you have the gamepad closed, you know, obviously up is going to be higher, down is going to be lower. I would like it if when you have the gamepad open, it's reversed, where this is louder and this is quieter, but unfortunately it doesn't do that. Minor thing. Alright, let's go ahead and check out Asphalt 6. So you can use the virtual joysticks if you want, but honestly, they don't really feel. Oops. They don't really feel like they're calibrated properly for the sensitivity, and I don't think it's the joysticks, and I'll show you why later. But honestly, for this game, the control pad works just fine. But you get a great frame rate out of it. X button accelerates, shoulder buttons do the nitro. Pretty good game, actually. I'll show it off a little bit more, then I'll check out something else. So it is a single-core gigahertz processor, but it does have one of the Adreno 205 GPUs in it, so it does graphics processing pretty well. Look out, everybody. Where's everybody? Oh, I'm in dead last. Okay, well that would make sense. Alright, well let's get out of that. So that's Asphalt 6. But let me show you why I don't think the weird... The way the steering works in a game like Asphalt 6, for example, why I don't think it's the touchpad's problem. This app here will help you test out the touchscreen and also the analog touchpads. Yeah, sorry to spoil the magic for you, but it's actually just a touchpad that accepts 2 different inputs. But honestly, they seem to be working just fine, so... Again, I think this is a lack of the game developers giving the Xperia Play total support. They just need to work on it a little bit more, and I think it'll be good. But let me show off another game that I like, but it does help show off the fact that the game developers do need to do a little bit of fine-tuning with this. Okay, so this is Star Battalion. You can steer with the control pad, but the joysticks work fairly well in this game, and it's a pretty decent amount of sensitivity, and it's good at detecting how much into the turn you want to go. But an odd glitch I noticed, you can use the right one to do like barrel rolls and U-turns. But, okay, let's say I'll turn left now, and then I'll do a barrel roll. It thinks I'm trying to go up, now it thinks I'm trying to go straight, which I'm clearly not. I'm clearly still holding down on the left. In fact, it thinks I'm trying to go right a little bit. So, I'm not quite sure what's up with that. Yeah, the steering goes pretty wonky, and yeah, I'm holding up right now. So that's kind of odd. They definitely do need to fix that. But now let's check out Crash Bandicoot, because this is pretty interesting. Sony's going to start doing more releases like this, where they're PlayStation 1 classics and putting them on the Xperia Play as an exclusive. Let's wait for it to boot up here. Alright, so here's Crash Bandicoot on the Xperia Play. It's an exact port of the game, so you're probably totally familiar with it. Using the control pad, X to jump, square to do your attack. Yeah, pretty fun. I never actually played this game, so I'm working on playing through it on the Xperia Play, and I really like it, actually. But, in terms of the PS1 games, if you hit the Android menu button, you get this PlayStation Suite menu type deal here. Switch discs if there's ever a game that's going to have 2 discs. You can set different screen modes, normal, zoom, or full screen. Controller settings. Assign buttons. Looks like you can actually remap the buttons. Yeah, so you can do that. So this is what you get when you have a PlayStation 1 game that you're playing, and hopefully they do more of these PlayStation 1 games soon, because as of right now, for the Verizon Xperia Play anyway, Crash Bandicoot's the only one that's available. So, for the most part, the built-in games are okay. Again, I can't stress this enough, they really do need some work getting to work with the Xperia Play hardware better. Now, there's one more thing, actually, I should say a few more things that really make the Xperia Play feel complete if you're a gamer. The emulators. And that's what I love about Android. You can get emulators that emulate different consoles. I've got the original Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Atari, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and even Nintendo 64. Let's go ahead and check out the Nintendo emulator. Let's load up some Contra. Oops. No, do not clear the save states. Oops, I was at the final boss. Go ahead and reset. And the buttons are fully mappable. The only downside is none of the emulators yet acknowledge the fact that the joysticks exist on an Xperia Play, so you can't map anything to those. But the games work flawless. I mean, excellent frame rate, no problems with the audio. Even games like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out work 100%. You know, once you set the compatibility settings right. But yeah, this is what really makes the phone complete, in my opinion. Having games like this on the go and a dedicated gamepad to complete the package. And I died because I was looking through the viewfinder of the camera. Tweeter man, don't come up with excuses. No, it's true. I was looking through the viewfinder and I couldn't see what I was doing. See, look, I couldn't see that bullet either. Alright, you guys are going to start calling me liars, so we're just going to exit that. Super Nintendo. It handles the really intense games really well. Like, for example, let's load up... Where is it? Star Fox. Here we go. Yeah, look at that. We're getting a perfect frame rate from games like Star Fox on the Super Nintendo. Really awesome. Processor combined with the graphics processor. And I'm trying to play through the viewfinder again. I know it just looks like I'm just trying to come up with excuses, but I swear. Get to the building. Bye! Yeah, so that works really good. Even games like, oops, I forgot the back button is also circle, so I have to hit menu more than close. There we go. Even games like Super Mario RPG work 100%. So Sega Genesis works 100%. I'll load up some Sonic the Hedgehog here. I'll do 3. Same as what can be said about the other emulators. Flawless frame rate, great audio, gamepad works great for it. Well, there's a little bit of a graphics glitch there when you're in the water, but other than that, yeah, it runs really great. Oop, didn't make it. Alright, let's exit that. Try out some other emulators. Atari, I'm not going to bother, it's Atari. Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance runs great. It has a few audio problems, but it works for the most part. Again, frame rate's good, doesn't really lag. Nintendo 64, this is where it gets interesting. It works best with the launch titles like Super Mario 64, for example. This is an emulator where you really wish it recognized the joysticks, but unfortunately it does not.
It's me, Mario!
There's a few things missing, like Mario's shadow and the carpet on the ground there is missing. The stars on the doors are missing. Come here, Koopa, I'll take you on. No. Don't eat me. I wish I had joysticks. Huh, beat you. Yeah, you're too slow. You're not even here yet. So yeah, surprisingly, I still find it amazing that right now I'm playing Super Mario 64 on my cell phone. I find that still pretty hard to believe. Yeah, the other titles don't really work as well. Super Smash Bros. Works okay, it's got a little bit of lag. Wave Race works pretty good. Snowboard Kids, they don't even show the characters, it's totally invisible. Mario Kart 64 works, F-Zero X works. Diddy Kong Racing, I actually forgot to try that. The Bomberman games work with a little bit of lag. Banjo 2 doesn't even load at all. Let's try Diddy Kong Racing. I didn't actually try that. Seems to be working pretty good so far. Intro's looking good. Don't really see anything wrong with it so far. Looks like there's a little bit of lag once the game starts going, but very, very playable indeed. So, yeah, seems to be working really good. See if I can actually start a race, then we'll see how well it works. How many balloons does it take to enter? I have no idea. Ah, the HUD is almost totally empty, except for a spinning banana. Well, definitely playable, and once the race starts going, the lag seems to pretty much disappear. We'll complete the lap. Not bad. Doing better than I thought it would. So yeah, overall, that is the Sony Xperia Play. I would, without a doubt, recommend this phone to anybody who plays a lot of games on their phones. Honestly, my opinion, as much as Apple says, oh, we have the most apps in our iOS, or our App Store, I'm sorry, but touchscreen controls, if you're a true gamer, touchscreen controls do not work. I need physical buttons. I need shoulder buttons. I need something to actually grip. I don't like my fingers covering half of the screen. It's like, ooh, nice graphics on the game if I could actually see them because my thumbs are in the way. So, that's my personal opinion anyway. Other than that, it's a decent phone. Battery life on it's pretty good. Actually, it's better than comparing it again to the Droid 2. I had an extended battery in my Droid 2 when I still had it, and the battery life on here is almost slightly better than it ever was on the Droid 2, and that's even with playing games. You could game for about, depending on what you're playing, you could probably play about 5 to 6 hours before the battery's dead in the phone, as long as you're in a good signal area. So, not too bad overall, but I would definitely recommend it if you want to play games on your phone. For the average Android user who's just looking for the smartphone, might want to get something else just because this might feel like a waste for you. But anyway, there it is. That's the Sony Ericsson Xperia Play from Verizon.